Hello class, this is a continuation on basic quadratic equation solving. Okay, so in the previous examples we could see that all the solutions looked like this. We had x equals plus or minus some sort of number. See, we had plus minus 3, plus minus 4, 6, and so on. So they all had the positive and negative version of some sort of number. However, the order that the operations have to be reversed can give two very different solutions. Let's take a look at these 6 examples to demonstrate this idea. Okay, so notice how in the previous example, it was immediately that the square was already by itself. So we could square both sides and it would give us the answer straight away. However, if we take a look at this, the first instinct that a lot of people would like to do is to expand this bracket. But if you can take a look, all of this, the square is already by itself. So we can square both sides immediately because there's nothing else beside this. So we can take the square root of both sides. The square and the square root on the left hand side are cancelled. This leaves us with x minus 1 equals, and the square root of 4 is plus minus 2. But notice how we're still not done on the left hand side. For this, we need to add 1 to both sides. But take a look at the interesting way that this is written. This will give us x equals positive 1 plus minus 2. And then from here, we get two different solutions. X equals 1 plus 2 and x equals 1 minus 2. And because of this, we have two very different values. We have x equals 3 and x equals negative 1. And both of these are the solutions. So notice how now, because the square root was done first, and then the addition, subtractions, and so on, we get two different answers like this versus the same value, just positive and minus. Okay, so I hope that made it pretty clear. You can pause the video and give this a go yourself. We're going to start solving these right about now. Okay, so once again, the square is by itself, so we can take the square root. This is now going to give us x plus 3 equals plus minus 3. For this, we're going to minus 3 on both sides. This will give us x equals negative 3 plus minus 3. And this will give us negative 3 minus 3. And x equals negative 3 plus 3. And from here, I hope you can see that the two solutions are x equals negative 6 and x equals 0. So both answers are possible. Oops. Oh, well, there we go. Okay, now let's take a look at this one. This one, notice how the square root is not by itself. So we want to get rid of this first. Well, for this, we need to subtract 3 on both sides. This will give us x minus 2 squared equals 16. Now notice, because of that one step, the square is now by itself. Now we can take the square root of both sides. This will give us x minus 2 equals plus minus 4. This gives us x equals 2 plus minus 4. And we can go straight to the solutions. 2 plus 4 is 6. 2 minus 4, x equals negative 2. So these are the two solutions to this equation. All right, let's keep moving here. Make some more space so it doesn't feel cramped. Okay, so same principle. We want to make sure that the square root is by itself. so we need to get rid of the 2. So we divide 2 from both sides. This will give us, oops, oh yes, x plus 4 squared equals 25. And I think after seeing a few more of these, you can understand that when we take the square roots, we are left with plus minus 5. Writing it out, x equals negative 4 plus minus 5. X equals 1, and x equals, sorry, should look more like a comma. X equals negative 9. All right, let's keep moving forward here. Now, notice this question, I've deliberately made it look very similar, but I hope you can see a slight difference here. Okay, so for this, we would actually have to expand first, or we could just divide 2 straight away. For this, let's just stick to what we normally see. We would expand this. We would subtract, add 8. Then we would half everything. Half of 12 is 6, half of 8 is 4. And then from here, we can take the square root of both sides. This one is x equals just plus minus 8. Notice how simply by putting the order differently, or putting where the square is, one is to the group and the other is to the pronumeral x. Okay, let's keep going here. Whoops, this one's supposed to have a square here. All right, let's keep moving here. For this, we'll multiply both sides by 4. Take the square root of both sides. Plus minus, this is going to be 6. Now this last one, I've made it a negative x. You'll see how this affects the problem. This is going to be negative x equals negative 10 plus minus 6. But now, to make this a positive x, okay, we're going to divide everything by negative 1. And because of that, it becomes a positive x. The negative 10 will become positive 10. And the plus minus, since it's actually just both of them, they're both, what's it called? They're both positive and negative. If you were to switch it, technically, it should become minus plus 6, but this is used for a very specific purpose. But in this case, whether it's plus minus or minus plus, it won't matter. So you can just leave it as just plus minus 6. So our two solutions for this are 10 plus 6, 16, and 10 minus 6, which is 4. Okay, so I hope that gave you an insight into solving basic quadratic equations and how we could have two different values just by changing the order of the square roots. Alright, so hope to see you in the next video, and best of luck.